Hey guys, welcome back in this episode. In this episode, we will learn HTML and CSS tutorial together. Alright, my basis is on the HTML CSS. Okay, I mean HTML with CSS. How to style HTML with CSS. So let me brief you. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. Cascading Style Sheets. Okay. And CSS describes how HTML documents or elements are to displayed on screen or paper or in any other media, right? So CSS saves a lot of work. There's an advantage, okay, or an important of CSS that it saves a lot of work, and again it can control the layout of multiple web pages all at once, okay. And for example, when you open a website, a different website, let me open the YouTube. Now you can see that I'm uploading a video, right? So we have multiple pages. We have aside, we have center text, or aside in these sections, and you scroll down, we have a further section here, right? As you can see, guys. And when you go to another website, let's try to visit Cloudflare's website, all right, Negatech website, okay, on the internet. Okay, so when this page opens, right, I will show you the pages or the portions in which they were created by CSS. Okay, so as you guys can see, HTML CSS tutorial, all right. And CSS can be added to HTML elements in three ways. We have the inline CSS, we have the internal CSS, and the external CSS, right? Okay, let me explain with the inline from inline CSS. By using the style attribute in HTML elements, if someone do or any programmer do something like this in HTML document, he or she is trying to specify that is inline CSS, okay. It's a type of CSS that is inline type of CSS, okay. And the internal CSS by using the style tags, okay, by using the style element in the head section, all right. And the external CSS is by using external CSS file, right? For example, assume this page is a index page, okay, and we want to add external CSS to this page, right? Take it as this there. Okay, let me open the notepad. As you can see, this is index.php, index.html, right? And this the HTML source files, right? So if I want to add a CSS file or a CSS document attached to this page or this file, I'll create external CSS, okay, by creating a new tab, right? As you guys can see, by creating a new tab or adding a new tab, okay, to the remaining tabs. So we're gonna take it by one. You will take it by one and explain with examples. So the most common way to add CSS is to keep the styles in separate CSS files, right? That's the external, as the name suggests, external. However, here we will use inline and internal styling because it is easier to demonstrate, alright, and easier for you to try it yourself, okay. Alright, so you can learn much more about CSS from our channel, okay. We will do a separate video on CSS tutorial only, okay. And I will explain with the inline CSS, the internal CSS. Okay, and internal CSS is also used to define a style for a single HTML page, right? For example, but with external we use for many pages, okay. A website which contains many pages, like when you go to YouTube's website, it contains many pages. When you click on this learn more, it navigates you to another page. I hope you get the concept, guys. If you have any question or if you have something to say, just comment or drop your comment, right? Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is try solving examples on inline CSS first, but I recommend you to use the internal and the external CSS, because internal, when you use inline, it's very bad to use. Okay, it's very bad to use in inline CSS. So I'll start from inline CSS and teach you how it is done. Okay, so you open our text editor. Okay, so type h1. I'll set h1 and style. So this form is we've already do that. There is an example. Okay, there's an example. So let me go through again. Style is equal to background color, and the color code we're gonna use is #19 GFF, and say I attend school at senior high. Okay, as you guys can see that I have opened a style attribute. Okay, there's a style attribute. So immediately you open a style attribute, you mean you are doing CSS. Okay, you are doing inline CSS. Now as you guys can see, I attend school at Wesley Senior High. Okay, all right, and the background color didn't change. Why? Because I typed wrong color name, #196 DFF, right, for blue color, right? As you guys can see, let me close these ads. Okay, so this is an example of inline CSS. I can create more, or I can add more CSS properties. I can add font hyphen. Listen this attentively and note it. In CSS we have, in CSS font we have three types. Okay, we have font color, we have font size and font family. Okay, we have two. We have font size and font family. All right, so font size set to 100%, and font family set to sans serif. We can add more. We can add text transform or text align, alignment of the text align, left or center or justify. Okay, so I'll set it to right side. Text decoration can be set to underline or none. Okay, underline, and can add text transform set to uppercase. Save that, back to the web browser to refresh. Now I hope you guys can see it well. I attend school at Wesley Senior High. Alright, I hope you can see it well. I have underlined it. Let me increase the size in pixels. Font family says so. Okay, so 100 pixels. Very huge, right? So as you can see, but this is not responsive. Okay, in our next lessons we will learn HTML responsive website. It is not responsive. Okay, assume this is a mobile phone. How we gonna see this? It's very horrible. Okay, very horrible. All right, so let's go back. So I hope you guys understood this concept. Alright, so this is how inline CSS is done. Okay, it's very boring to see, very bad. Okay, I don't recommend you to use this. Let me comment it. I'll comment this out. Okay, and the next thing we're gonna talk about is the style tag. Okay, we can do this by using the style tag. Okay, so let's try an example of style tags. So the style tags comes in between the head section. Okay, the head section. Right, so in the head section we open tags and type style, and we close it here. Okay, so you can do so by editing, but I'll create a paragraph here. Before that, I'll create a paragraph there. Okay, so I'm typing the name of my biology. Alright, now close my paragraph tags and open another paragraph, the name of my physics and I have a break tags here. Okay, this is a break tag, and the name of my math teacher is Isaac, and I close my paragraphs here. So if you want to edit this paragraph, just call its name, just call the paragraph, okay, as if you are calling a function, right? So I will first call paragraph. When you do this, you open your curly bracket, not square bracket, curly bracket, and you type in your CSS property and value, right? So we're gonna change the font size to set to 35 pixels long, large, and font family set to, when you do this, quote it, okay, Verdana, and text transform. You see, this is very clear to read and easy to read. Text transform, uppercase. So we've changed, we are changing the font size, okay, the font size, the font, the text transformation, and the font family of this text or the paragraphs. Okay, and say, let's say text align set to right. But before that, I will teach you some way to move a text in a center form, in center. Okay, for example, you can do so by using the center tag, right? You can do so by using the center tag. I will show you how to do this. Center, okay, then you close it where you want to end our center. Save that and refresh the browser and see how it is. As you guys can see, this is in the center of our web page, right? Forget about this. Okay, so text transform, text align set to right, and I'm done. Okay, I would like to end here and go to the next Alright, let's create a head h4. My name is right. So we're gonna transform, we're gonna customize the h4 tag. All right, so type h4, and I would like to copy the same thing, give the same property to it, paste it out, paste, copy. Now we're gonna see how it is done. It is, as you guys can see, we customized this, the name of my physics teacher. We've transformed all these text into capital letters or uppercase. My name is the programmer, and so on and so forth. Back, we're gonna set it well. We're gonna set it well. Okay, so I'm gonna change it to left side. Now, I hope you guys can see it clear and understand. Alright, we'll change this set to justify, and the font size is very large, so I will decrease it. I'll decrease it by 10. I hope you can see it clearly, right? I'm gonna change one of these texts to small case or alpha case. Okay, I would like to change this to alpha case. Alpha hyphen case. Right, so this is very nice. Back, you're gonna change this to same alpha case, lowercase. Alright, as you can see, guys, so it's pretty cool. All right, it's very simple to do this. Okay, and the next thing we're gonna do is we want to remove the text transform. Okay, we're gonna remove the lines from it. Let me check. Okay, we already removed the lines from it. All right, and the next thing we're gonna talk about is the external CSS, my favorite way of styling CSS script. All right, so if you want to do this, okay, if you want to do this, come back in the style, beneath the title tag. Okay, beneath the title tags, you are to type the following. Okay, link rel is equal to, the rel attribute is equal to style sheet. Okay, and type attribute is gonna be text /CSS, and href. The reason is that we are linking this page, we are linking an external source. Take this as CSS. Okay, we are linking this page to this page, right? So we will need href. Href is all about, href is all about destination, okay, or links. Href is equal to, I'll leave this blank and close it. Right, now when we save this we have to comment this. Okay, we have to comment the style tags. Okay, I have to comment this. Now we will open a new window and save it as style.css. You can navigate here and check for style. But if you type dot extension dot, the CSS extension is very simple. Now this is style.css. okay, so the name you typed in the href, it should match the external CSS you saved here. Okay, if you save this page as ama.css, church.css, you should type church.css in the href attribute. So this was style.css. okay, now this page is not this text will not work again because I have commented. Okay, so we will change it by using the external CSS, right? We are going to change it. We're gonna change it and type in body. We're gonna change the body, right? Body to in the body tag, we're gonna change the background color. We can use this to change the background color. And we set the background color to pound 6567. Set the color to gray, pound E333, pound 333. Margin, we can set the margin automatic, padding auto, and close it. Now come back here and check. We are going to edit the paragraph tags. Okay, so the p tag, edit. You see that it's very simple. Text decoration or whatever you want to do. Font family set to sans serif. Font size set to 28 pixels. Color of the text set to red. Text align set to the middle page, the center, and text transform set to underline. All right, and here now we are going to see the changes. Okay, as you guys can see, we've changed this by using external CSS, right? Okay, so let's go back and change something here. The color for this text is red, so you would like to change it to yellow. As you guys can see, yellow text color, right? Okay, so in this episode we will do match example, right? You're gonna do match example. Keep watching. All right, the next thing we're gonna talk about is the CSS border property. Okay, and in CSS, if you want to add a border to an HTML element or any element or any tag you want, just use the border property, right? So we're gonna add a border to the paragraphs. Okay, so next we're gonna type border and they are 4 pixels solid black. Save this and refresh the browser. As you guys can see, we've added the borders to this. Okay, we have added borders to the text. Okay, you can change it to solid red, solid blue, solid any color, or any color or any preferred color you want, right? Okay, so thanks for watching this episode. I'm not done with this episode. Keep watching. The next thing we're going to talk about is the CSS padding property. Okay, padding adds a space. Okay, padding means space. It adds space between the text and the element, right? Between the text and the border. Okay, for example, if I set the padding to 50 pixels, it will add space. Okay, it will enlarge it. Now you see this, the space between the borders is very small, so refresh the browser and see how it is. Okay, right. We would like to do something here. Okay, let me dot this point. Copy. Again, you're gonna paste it once again. Save that and refresh the browser. Okay, as you guys can see, I have added many borders to these tests. Okay, all right, go back to the browser, the notepad. All right, and the next thing we're going to talk about is the margin. CSS margin. We set margin to 50 pixels and see how it will be. Right, you see I shift it. Okay, it has been shifted to the center of the page, right? And the next thing we're going to talk about is the CSS is the HTML attribute, the ID attribute. Okay, we're going to talk about the ID attribute. Now the ID attribute add additional information, okay, or a special information to the tag, okay, or to the element, right? For example, let me clean this. Let me clean all this. Clean. Right, and I will clean the comments too. Okay, right. Okay, guys. Now watch this part carefully, right? Watch this carefully. Now we see nothing here. Okay, this page is blank. As I said earlier, that the CSS, the HTML ID attribute add a specific element or a specific style for a specific element. Okay, a specific style for a specific element, right? Okay, now we're gonna design some simple you'll be very happy as a beginner. Okay, so we are gonna do is we close our body tags first. All right, now we're gonna do head 1, okay, and give an ID attribute to it. So to do this, or to specify a style or a special style for a special element, use the ID attribute. Okay, so ID is equal to, say, header. With the ID, the value of the ID, that's the header. Okay, the value, there's the property, this is the attribute, and this is the value. Okay, So the header, you can name it whatever you want, but make sure you remember. Okay, so header, type header, then I say information world technology. All right, close my H1 tag, and the next thing we're gonna do is but before that, let's save it and see how it will be. By default, we haven't added the header in a CSS, so you only see this. Okay, so if you want to add a special style to this text, you have to specify an ID. Please listen carefully. If you wanna specify, or if you wanna add a special style to this text, information word text, just give it an ID. Okay, for example, let me set an example. Assume you visit to MTN mobile money office, or MTN office rather, and you are requesting for your mobile number. Okay, maybe you don't know your mobile number, but the name is registered. Okay, the registered name on that number, when you say that number to them, when you mention that name to them, for example, when you go to the MTN office and say they will find, or they will search in their database. Okay, they will search in their database for the number, right? Same as voters ID card or national ID or any ID card in Ghana here, or here in Ghana, right? When you take up your NHIS card and you send it to the NHIS office, and you tell them you want to name the membership number of Kodiyama, they will search in their database for you. So same here. So we're gonna add ID attribute to this text, okay, and edit it. Okay, now watch it carefully. Right, so we'll go in our CSS. I'll clean all this because it is no more existing. Okay, H1. So in the H1 we have ID called header. Note it in HTML attribute header, I mean the ID attribute, when you're giving ID to, when you're editing an ID in CSS, okay, just use the pound sign. If it is a class, just use dot. All right, so in our case it is an ID, so just type in the pound sign. In the header we're gonna add background color. Okay, background color, we're gonna add black. Okay, now let's refresh it and see how this. As you guys can see, we have added a background color to this, but by default the color is black. Okay, so when you give a background color, black background color to it, you won't see. Okay, you won't see. All right, so you can change the color of the text and set it to white, or I can type in the hexadecimal color white. Now as you guys can see, okay, so you want to increase the padding of the header, so go back and change the padding, set to 35 pixels. As you guys can see, we are designing something, right? Then you set the text alignment to the center. you change the font size. Please end all CSS properties by the semicolon. Okay, so font hyphen size 35 pixels. All right, and it's okay. Let me end here. Okay, as you guys can see, the font is very small, so let's increase it a little bit. 45 pixels, 48 pixels, and the padding to let's increase it by 55. Wow. Okay, so you're gonna add another section. Okay, using the same idea to be gonna add a sidebar, okay, to this page. All right, and add a footer and add a site or an article. Okay, now back to your index page and give another ID called nav, right? H3. Okay, call div ID. You talk about the div tags. Okay, it gives, let me explain, it gives sections to pages. Okay, simple as that. It gives section to pages. So ID is equal to nav. Okay, all right. Okay, this is out of your limit, so I will remove it. And for example, if I want to add another ID to this page, H3 ID is equal to let's say navigation bar hyphen bar, and type this is our navigation bar. H3 plus. As you guys can see, you see this page that there is a navigation bar. So basically, this is how the ID attribute works. Okay, this is how it works. And the next thing we're gonna talk about is the class attribute. Okay, we have class and ID attribute, right? So watch this video. Okay, so with HTML class, probably is almost the same. Okay, almost the same. They are alike, almost the same as the ID. It works like as the ID. Okay, so how it works, or how does it works? The class attribute adds it adds a special element. It adds a special style. Okay, it adds a special style for a special element. Okay, but the difference between the ID and the class attribute is that with the ID it adds a style to an element, a specified element you want, or any value you want. But with the class, it's for special element. For example, when you have the p tag, we have a special class for it. Okay, for example, if I have a paragraph tag, then I type error. This error is for special tag. Okay, this error is the special this error, the value of the class is a special style for the paragraph. Okay, when you want to throw an error to the user, let's say please try again. We are not doing PHP here. Okay, focus on HTML paragraphs and go to the CSS page the file, then I add dots error. Let's say a text transform set to uppercase, upper alpha, or whatever. Text transform, not transform, and size the color, set the color first to red, and we're gonna set the font size to 35 pixels. As you guys can see, please try again. So this is a special stuff for the special element of the paragraph. Okay, and the last one we're gonna talk about, we've done it already, but I will explain. Okay, the next thing we're gonna talk about is the rel. Okay, the rel attribute. This is it. Okay, this rel attribute add a external reference. Okay, that is why the CSS this page is an external CSS. Okay, so it add an external reference. That's why we didn't omit the rel attribute. Okay, so I'm done with this tutorial. In my next episode, I will teach you guys HTML links. Okay, so with the HTML links, you learn how to create hyperlinks and so on and so forth. So thank you for watching this video. Please do share. Okay, do share this video. Thanks. See you in the next episode.